Hi ladies, Lacey here with dailybeautyadvice.com. I want to talk to you about a very serious subject matter today. It is what I believe to be one of the worst makeup blunders that is occurring today within North America. I think that the makeup counter ladies have been lying to us for many, many years. And so let's delve deeper into this myth that so many women have fallen prey to, and it could be ruining your look. One concealer for the whole face is a lie. The makeup counter lady that you went to visit when you were 16, and you know you did it with your mama, she lied to you. You actually need 3 different concealers, one for under the eyes, one for the eyelids, and then one for the face. Let's talk about those today at dailybeautyadvice.com. So I like to start with highlighting my face usually, and I use a little corrector pencil, and the best place I think to start is around my eyes. I have a 6-week-old baby and I'm not getting a lot of sleep, so I have extra special under eye circles just for y'all. So I'll start there, and you can just kind of feather it on really lightly. You don't want to pull the skin underneath your eyes because that's the thinnest skin and it's the first place that you're going to start to show age. So don't pull really lightly, and if you do need to tap it in at all, always use ring fingers only, and you're just going to kind of press and roll into the skin. You don't ever want to pull on this skin again because you'll stretch it out. I recommend drawing a little triangle around the eye, underneath the eye rather, so that you can get kind of the more angled face. Some people might call it the Kim Kardashian look. I don't do it quite as dramatically as she does. You can take it down the side of your nose, which is really nice as well because it can help to thin out your nose. It will take away any of the redness that might be there. And then you can just press it in, just like this. And you can already see, just by doing one eye versus the other, how that kind of lifts the eye and makes it look higher than my other eye. Okay, so now we'll take it over to the other side and do the same thing. Highlight under this eye. Again, feathering it on really lightly. Now at this point, if you wanted to, you can actually do some contouring, but I'm gonna move on to concealer next. So we're gonna talk about different types of concealers. I really recommend using 3 different types of concealers for your face. You want one for underneath the eyes. It's gonna be really a creamy consistency. I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Cream Concealer today. And I always start by taking it out on my brush and then using my hand to warm it up. So you're going to actually put it on the back of or on the front of your hand, because the heat from your palm is going to melt the makeup a little bit more so that it'll go on even more seamlessly, and you won't get that cakey appearance that under eye concealer sometimes can get. So I warmed it up on the back of my hand, and it looks like a little artist palette by the time I'm done doing my makeup. And then you're going to take the brush and you're just going to feather it right where you want the under eye concealer to go. So there are a couple of different schools of thought on concealers. I originally, when I first started doing makeup, I was taught to do foundation first and then do concealer, but I have such dark circles under my eyes that I really like to get a lot of brightness underneath my eyes. So I do my concealer first, and then I follow with my foundation afterwards. So it's just personal preference, what you like to do, how you like your makeup to look. Then again, with the concealer, you want to press under the eye, and I kind of roll under the eye as well. So again, this, when you use your finger, it's going to warm it up to your skin even more, and again, not allow it to settle into any fine lines or wrinkles or anything like that. So that's concealer number 1 that you need for the face. The second concealer that you need for the face is something for your eyelids, and you do need a separate concealer. A lot of women think that they can just take their under eye concealer and use it above their eyes as well. They're often too oily for the eyelids. So if you're using that on your eyelid, then what happens is as soon as you put your eyeshadows on, it's going to cause creases in the eyeshadows. The eyeshadows are going to run, and the eyeshadows are going to come off by the end of the day. So the concealer for your eyelids actually needs to be kind of a very more matte, dry consistency, and then it needs to dry pretty quickly on the eyelid. You should be able to tell a big difference as soon as you put it on. Again, with this, I always start on my hand and I warm it onto my brush, and then you're just going to brush it right along the eyelid. And I have a lot of discoloration above my eyelid, so it's really important for me to cover the full eyelid with my concealers. But you can see on my eyelids the big difference between eyelid with the concealer or with the eyelid concealer on and the one without. Now the third type of concealer that you need is a face concealer. So this is for blemishes, broken capillaries, redness, anything like that. The big tip with this concealer is you're going to want to do it after you put on your foundation. So you're going to put foundation on first, and then you'll apply your concealer and just feather it on in the places that you need it, as opposed to putting your concealer on your face first and then putting your foundation on, which is just going to wipe off the concealer, and it would be a very silly game to play with yourself. So just do foundation first and then your concealer, and you'll get a lot further a lot faster. Okay, the next thing that we'll do is we'll put on Secret Brightening Powder. It's a light reflecting powder that I again like to use because I have really dark circles under my eyes. And the nice thing about this powder is it reflects light away, so it's going to brighten up underneath the eye area. So you can see I focus a lot of time and energy on getting rid of the dark circles. So I hope I do a good job. Y'all let me know. Okay, so the way that you use it, it comes in a little jar like this, and you're going to flip it over, and then you tap it back down. And all you're going to use is the powder that's left over in the lid. It's a very small amount. You don't need a whole lot of powder underneath the eyes, again, because that's going to settle into fine lines and wrinkles. And you get it on the brush, and then you're just going to lightly press it under the eyes, right where you have dark circles, right in this area. And then for the other side, again, you're going to press it onto the brush, tap off any excess if you need to, and then press it under the eyes, just like this. And what I like about this too is if any of your eyeshadow falls down later on, you can take some of this powder and just kind of brush it away because it's already on there, and so it's going to stick to the powder as opposed to sticking to the concealer. If it was wet, the eyeshadow powder would stick right onto that concealer, which is not ideal. So then the next thing I do is I'm going to put some foundation on. So I do the same thing with my foundation that I do with the Secret Brightening Powder. I flip my foundation over. I'm going to use a mineral powder foundation. And the reason I like this is because it's fast and easy. I have a 3-year-old son who's very active, and I have a 6-week-old baby girl who's very demanding. So I like anything that is quick and easy to put on the face. So you're just going to dab your brush into the foundation and blend it in onto the brush using the lid. I think that's the best way to do it. You can also use a Kleenex if you wanted to. And then you're just going to take the brush and in circular motions, so you're just going to apply the foundation. And I always recommend going underneath the chin as well, so you don't get a makeup line or anything fabulous like that. I have nice evened out skin, and I can cover up any small imperfections that I want to with my Secret Camouflage is what it's called, my face concealer. So again, this concealer is a different consistency than my under eye concealer and my eyelid concealer. This one again is that pure pigment concealer that's going to really get into it's not too oily, it's not too dry, because you don't want anything quite as matte for the eyelid as you have on your face, and you don't want anything quite as creamy that you have underneath your eye for the rest of your face, because that's going to look greasy and not cute at all. So this, I'm going to use the Secret Camouflage, again from Laura Mercier. Get it on the brush, and again you're going to warm it up on your hand. And then you can just take it and feather it on to any imperfections you might have. So I have a fun little red spot right here, and you press it in. And then a few scars on this side. So now you have a flawless canvas from which to work, and you can add colors, you can add shading and highlighting, contouring, whatever makes you feel the best about you. So now you have a flawless canvas from which to work. You can add any color that you want to. There's really no rules to makeup, no set rules, that is. So play with makeup, have fun with it, and just really enjoy yourself when you're adding in colors, eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara, all of those things. Check below for a list of the makeup that I used in this video, but feel free to use makeup from wherever you normally shop. That's totally fine. Just make sure with concealers that you have 3 different types. You want the under eye concealer nice and creamy. You want the eyelid concealer to be more of a dry consistency so that your eyeshadows don't crease. And then your facial concealers, you want them to be kind of in between, and you need it to be highly pigmented so it can cover any redness, blemishes, broken capillaries, anything like that. Don't let anybody trick you and say you can use all of the same kinds of concealers. It's a lie, it's not true. Use different ones. And make sure to check back often with dailybeautyadvice.com. We're gonna have lots more tips and tricks on how to look your best so that you can feel your best.